Hey guys, this is Lashitsky back here with another video. So I just finished watching Monday Night Raw, and I'm just gonna give my review of Raw tonight and my thoughts. Yeah, so let's start it off. We began Raw with John Cena coming out to the ring, and he was talking about how he was gonna win the Royal Rumble and everything, and face The Miz. And The Miz comes out a little while later, so they kind of get into a bit of a confrontation here. Um, Interesting kind of segment there. The Miz kind of adds that instead of 30 participants, there's going to be 40 participants in the Rumble this year. Um, I have mixed feelings on that. I'm happy it's 40 because it's going to be a longer match hopefully then, and 10 extra participants will probably be a little bit like might be more entertaining. There might be more guys in the ring at one time. They also probably might be adding 10 more guys just to fill, because usually, I don't know, I'm not really sure how many matches they usually have at the Royal Rumble other than the match itself, but I think they might be doing that to fill up extra time and make less matches. They're probably just going to have the 2 title matches, then the Divas match, and then the Royal Rumble. So I don't know, mixed feelings on the whole 40-man thing. I don't know if they have enough solid guys on their roster for that. Might be a lot of guys just get tossed over the ropes quite easily, but I'm interested to see what happens there. Yeah, so we continue on with the Miz Cena confrontation. Cena kind of was just talking about how Miz hasn't faced any real challenges as champion, and he says he doesn't deserve to be champ. The Miz is talking about how he can fight with the best of them, and he could take on any technical ring wrestlers. Just a bit of a side note though, I was kind of noticing the Miz and how he talks. He's like, guys, I could fight with everybody in the. I'm sorry, I can't do amazing. I can't do impressions of anything. I apologize. I don't know what I was trying to do there, but um, yeah, I kind of just think he sounds a little bit like Chris Jericho when he starts talking, like an older Jericho, who kind of just always sounded all dark and evil when he was talking, and yeah, I think that he kind of sounds similar at the start when he starts talking. Anyway, so Cena's said the Miz probably won't. He says the Miz isn't gonna make it to WrestleMania. He'll lose to Orton at the Rumble. Um, so they get into a heavy confrontation. Then CM Punk's music hits and he interferes with the other 3 members of the Nexus. So Punk says he doesn't Cena doesn't even need to worry about facing the Miz because he's not going to win the Rumble. He has because Punk has 4 to 1 odds because of the 3 members of the Nexus, and that Cena's not going to win. And then cue the mystery general manager who announces that as the main event between John Cena and CM Punk, which has been hyped for a few weeks now, the Nexus members of the Nexus are not allowed to intervene at ringside, or they will not be allowed to participate in the Royal Rumble. So a bit of a twist there. So it looks like it's going to be a singles match, 1-on-1, no interference between Cena and Punk, which would make it a pretty solid match, a good main event. So good segment to start the show. Yeah, so then we get into the first match of the night, which was for the WWE Tag Team titles. Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov, quite a funny group of guys there. Very, very funny and entertaining tag champs. Their ring skills are questionable, but they're freaking hilarious. And they faced the Usos. They've kind of had a bit of a feud going on because, well, Tamina, who's the daughter of Superfly Jimmy Snuka, kind of um, change sides there. Short match, really all Vladimir Kozlov and Santino Marella. Marella got the pin with the Cobra, although Kozlov did most of the work. Yeah, pretty short match there. Then we got on to another Nexus segment. Probably the shortest segment ever. The 3 members of the Nexus are just kind of so Miguel and Kenny Harris and Otunga just kind of sitting there. They're down. They're all sad. They can't be in the helping out Punk in the main event. Punk comes in, stares at every single one of them for about a few minutes, and sits there and goes, "Faith," and that's the segment. And I was like, okay. And right when he does that, because I knew, if they just walked in, he says "Faith," and that ends it, it'd be like, wow, that's a piece of crap segment there. I knew there was some kind of, I knew Punk had some plan up his sleeve. I didn't know what it was, but I knew he was gonna have some sort of plan in order to get an upper hand in the main event. I knew that something was gonna happen. So then we get to a really good match. Some really good matches during tonight's Raw. You had John Morrison versus Daniel Bryan, a face versus face match. A really good match. Two two guys that, well, I mean, Brian doesn't really high fly much, but he's a lighter weight guy, so he does a lot of high octane stuff. So, yeah, good match. Back and forth action, fast paced, really good matchup. Really entertaining to watch. Two really good wrestlers. And the end came when Brian was going for the label lock. Morrison reversed it, hit that enziguri, then followed it up with a temple kick for the 3 count for the win. And then after the matchup, Sheamus interferes. And sorry, I'm just going to turn over my notes from Raw. So Sheamus comes in and says, like, he's even better than Brian and Morrison. Like, he's on a higher level than the two of them, and he says he's going to eliminate both of them in the Rumble. And he's talking about like being the he's like, long live the king. So he just kind of cuts in there, got him involved in the show that way, because he didn't. Sheamus didn't have a match, but they kind of still wanted to involve him, I guess. So yeah. So we continue on with another pretty good match. Really good matches on Raw tonight. Dolph Ziggler versus Randy Orton in a number one contender versus number one contenders match on either show. It was a back and forth fight again. Really wasn't one sided, and it was really good. Good pace too. Orton was dominating early. I thought he was just gonna shit kick Ziggler, but Ziggler kind of was holding his own in the match. Didn't have any interference from Vicky Guerrero, which I liked. This was a good match for Dolph Ziggler to kind of like improve his status a little bit. Yeah, so a pretty solid match. Ziggler had like Orton in the sleeper hold in one moment. I thought he was actually going to beat him because Orton was down pretty bad, but he got out of it. The finish came when Ziggler was going for the zigzag, and Orton reversed it and just freaking sick RKO. So like Ziggler's coming up and he's got him in the zigzag, right? So he like holds him down, and then Orton like somehow twists his body and hits him with a crazy RKO, man. Crazy for the pin. That was an unbelievable finish. Really good matchup. Best of the night so far, I'd say. And but then freaking the whole thing got killed when the Miz came in, just beat down Randy Orton, starts shit kicking him. Alex Riley, of course, is helping. Jerry the King Lawler came and interfered, like tried to help Orton because the Miz was going to put Orton through the announcers table, but he got thrown over the barricade, so that was useless. And then Miz throws Randy Orton through the barricade and it breaks. Like, I'm really annoyed by some of the things that are happening. Like I said in one of my previous videos, how like when Ezekiel Jackson powerslammed the Big Show, like that used to be something that you never saw and was like such an iconic event. Now you see it all the time. The same thing with people like getting thrown through a barricade. Like a while ago in the WWE, like someone breaks through a barricade or like something like that is crazy. It's like you never see that. I remember the first time I think I saw one of those happen was like Goldberg like speared like. There's this group, I don't even remember, 3 Minute Warning, that's what the name was. There's this group, 3 Minute Warning. I think Umaga was actually in that group, Umaga and like a guy named Rosie. But like Goldberg came in and speared one of the members of the 3 Minute Warning through the barricade and it broke. And that was like a crazy ass moment. And yeah, and now you see like barricades last week on SmackDown. Big Show fell through the barricade this week. Orton goes through it. These things seem to be happening all the time now. I really hope something stupid doesn't happen when like the ring breaks again. I think that like that'd be really dumb. But yeah, they seem to be repeating things that used to like not ever happen. But anyway, continuing on, we had another Nexus segment. This one just as stupid as the first one. It was like a prayer session thing. Like Punk was giving like pretty much a speech on like having humility and like loyalty to the Nexus, and then he just kind of like sits there like this and like kneels and they all bow their heads and he like talks as like a prayer thing. It was really awkward and strange. Yeah, just kind of awkward. Yeah. So then we get to a Divas match. Maurice and Natalya. Really dumb. They had Melina on commentary there and she just sat there and never said anything the whole time. I like her better as a face than heel, but yeah, that was really weird. Natalya pinned Maurice with a sharpshooter. Yeah, that's enough said. Then we had, after that match was over, Maurice goes on a friggin' huge ass spaz. She screams at DiBiase. She's like, "Oh, you're such a bad luck charm," and that was actually kind of funny. And DiBiase's like, "Oh, I got balls." So he steps in the ring. He's like, "Any man who wants to come out and face me and try to throw me over the top rope, come and try to do it." So we go to commercial. We come back. Still, no one's done anything. And then you got, whoa, hey. Mark Henry comes out. apologize again for my terrible singing. I really have no talent. I apologize. But yeah, Mark Henry comes out and it throws DiBiase over the rope in like 2 seconds. And then we had this pretty cool thing where I think they were just trying to fill time with this, but they had all the they had a bunch of guys from the locker room. I had like guys like I don't even remember who it was. It was like William Regal and I seriously can't even remember who the people that were in the ring were. It's like William Regal and like excuse me, William Regal and like Sheamus in there. R-Truth, guys like that. Anyway, they had like the guys that weren't doing anything come in. They had this like Royal Rumble preview thing. It was pretty cool. I actually went upstairs and like was cleaning the counter because I was told to, so I missed that part. I came back down. I'm pretty sure it was Sheamus and Mark Henry. Mark Henry like won this impromptu thing, and then Alberto Del Rio came again to Raw. I don't know what happened. I really didn't see what happened. Don't really care. I don't fancy Del Rio and Raw anyway, so yeah. I don't know what happened there. I just know Mark Henry won some impromptu Royal Rumble thing, like Battle Royal. Then they had that classic Royal Rumble traditional video they show with like the stats and everything, which is always pretty cool. Yeah, and that led into the main event, which was John Cena versus CM Punk. The Nexus is not at ringside. So we get a pretty good match between John Cena and CM Punk. I'd like to see. I don't know if they're gonna do this, like just have another singles match between him and Punk, Cena and Punk. But I'd like to see that because this was a pretty good match. It went back and forth, of course. Again, there's a move where Punk and Cena both hit each other at the same time and like collided into each other and both fell down. That move happened in every single match. It happened in the Punk Cena match. They both did that. It happened in the Ziggler Orton match, and it also happened in the Morrison Bryan match. That exact same thing. So that was pretty uncreative that they did that exact same move, like move in 3 separate matches on the show. But yeah, Punk used the Anaconda Vice in this match, which I really like. That move is really innovative. I haven't seen it for a while, but yeah, he used the Anaconda Vice, which is pretty cool. And then at the end, I mean, not at the end, but there's another cool thing where Punk goes in for like a not a springboard, but he just like jumped over the top rope, and Cena caught him and rammed him right into the steel ring post. So that was pretty cool too. And then you get the end was when this new guy came in. And I knew this Punk had a plan for how he was going to win, and his plan was to bring in to bring in backup that wasn't in the Nexus. So this guy comes in who's legit Batista. Like, I looked at him the first time and I thought it was Batista, and I was like, wow, shocker there, Punk and Batista. But no, it's pretty much, I heard about this guy a while ago. They were going to do, like, trying to replace Batista. His name is Mason Ryan. He's the current FCW champion, which is WWE's developmental territory, but he's jacked. Like, he's at least 300 pounds. Pretty much his face, his body, everything, it's pretty much a clone of Batista, except I think he's a little younger. So Ryan comes in, nails Cena with a big boot, and obviously the match is over there. Then Punk's like putting his arms on like this, and he's standing there, and then Ryan hits him with a big boot in the face too, and I'm like, whoa, is this guy just gonna be a new guy? Maybe he's just gonna come in here and tear shit up. But no, then he nails Cena with this crazy, it's like an innovative rock bottom thing, crazy move. This guy's gonna be good. I'm actually excited. And then I thought he was gonna like attack Punk again, but then he kneels down. Punk takes a Nexus armband onto his knee pad and puts one on Ryan's arm, and now he's the newest member of the Nexus, and I'm not cool with that because I don't want there to be freaking 4 or 5 guys in the Nexus again. 3 is okay, 4 is way too many, 5 is pushing it way too far. So now they got some bulk in there. I'm not sure if they're going to add someone on SmackDown too to maybe set up a Raw SmackDown Nexus feud, but yeah, Mason Ryan, your newest member of the Nexus on Raw. And yeah, so that's how you ended the show. Interested to see how that goes. But yeah, that's my review of Raw. Some of my thoughts, and give me your thoughts on what you thought on Raw tonight. I actually thought it was not a bad show. And yeah, give me your thoughts, and I'm out.